Welcome to the Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva, and today we're going to get some insight into marketing and promotions. My guest today is Steven Zuller. He is the CEO of the Franklin Group, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Anthony, for having me.
Sure. So usually I start my guests where they went to college. So where'd you go to school?
I went to Queens College. I lived locally in Brooklyn, and Queens wasn't too far away, so we went to Queens College and enjoyed our time there.
So let's just go back a little bit in time before we get started what you actually do. Did you start thinking about college freshman year of high school or senior year of high school? When did it all begin for you?
I think college was always on my mind throughout my years of high school, and going into college, I just had an idea that I wanted to go into business. That's what I thought I would do well at, and Queens College wasn't too far away, and figured to keep it local, no need to travel, go there, did well over there, and that went from there.
And did you take business as a major?
Yeah, business and accounting.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. I went, I was thinking accounting a little bit, but accounting was, I just couldn't sit behind a desk all day. So it just wasn't my personality to do that. But I majored in business and accounting, and that's where I went, learned business while I was in college a little bit, did some work, some internships, and was able to go into business afterwards.
So now, how did you go from graduating Queens College to becoming CEO of the Franklin Group?
Interesting question. From all my years in college, I worked a little bit in different business to try to get a grasp of what I want to do. Mm-hmm. When I came out of college, I started Franklin Group actually. I went straight from graduating. It was a small little company. I started from scratch. I built it up from there, and I just, it was more of a printing business at that point in time. Printing was more, there was a lot more paper print at that time, mm-hmm. And then grew it into the promotion printing business that it is today. But that's where I started from. So just straight out of college, one of those stories.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now, what does the Franklin Group actually do?
So we're a marketing firm, which we're an extension of, a lot of people have their own marketing departments in companies. We're a marketing firm where we do anything from social media to websites to printing, actual print, and promotional products. So it's everything relating to marketing, and we work hand in hand with marketing departments of companies to supply them whatever they need.
So now, is it just sports companies or sports teams, or do you do a lot of variety of different areas in the Franklin Group?
So we primarily, we deal with all different types of businesses. We deal a lot with nonprofit. We deal a lot with real estate, a lot in the healthcare industry, and we do probably 1,200 healthcare facilities across the country. And we do a lot of sports teams. We do currently about 70, maybe even a little bit more, professional and collegiate sports teams all over the country as well. Locally here, we work with the NEC, we work with the Devils. We work with Prudential Center. We work with the Red Bulls. Those are some of the teams locally. We work with the 76ers and their organization as well. The 87ers, the Blue Coats, the Philadelphia Soul. Just some teams, locally. Seton Hall in terms of college. A lot of different teams, different people, but I would say all different type of businesses. We're not focused primarily on healthcare and sports. That's been a big segment of what we do, mm-hmm. But we deal with any different type of business.
Okay, so now when you go to a team, let's say Seton Hall or the 76ers or the Red Bulls, what exactly do they usually look for? What's being promoted? What's the print that they do? Give us an example of what they're actually looking for.
So I think when you're dealing with sports teams or colleges with sports teams, the athletic departments utilize a lot of like game day programs, a lot of posters, a lot of different things like that. Today, a lot of bobbleheads, rally towels, anything relating to marketing. That's the type of things that they use. They also look to us for advice in terms of, what are the newest products that are out there? What can we utilize? What are other teams utilizing? So there's a lot of collaboration between our marketing department and their marketing departments.
Okay, and how about social media? Do the schools come to you and say, hey, how do we get these promotions out social media wise?
There's a lot of that also. Social media is such a big industry today. I mean, there's so much growth in that as well. Like, you're always analyzing different numbers. You're always going through different things and seeing what's best and where the best engagement is going to be. That's what it's all about today, fan engagement and getting your fans engaged in terms of different things that they want to see it out there. So we're, being on the forefront and being out there across the country on so many different levels and so many different teams on many levels of college and professional. I think we're added value to the marketing departments of these teams and these organizations so we can bring forward ideas that are fresh.
So now, how about experiences for the fans that come there? What do you give some type of experience to those fans, or is it pretty much the team itself is doing that?
We're working together with them. I think that where we find ourselves to be of value is to not only we don't come in as a printer or a promotional company. We come in. I mean, our team is led by professionals that have been in the industry. Our CMO is someone who's worked extensively in healthcare and sports. She's worked on the other side, and she understands what it takes. What it takes and what people want to see on a marketing front. Other people on our team that have been there for a while have been people that understand the value and understand what it takes to bring to the table. So really working hand in hand with them, that's where we find ourselves to be very helpful.
So now, do you find a lot of college students wanting to come to the Franklin Group, interns, full-time? Do you find a lot of students wanting to come there?
So it's an interesting question. We actually get every year, we take on interns that are going to college or in college. We try to guide them. We try to give them advice in terms of, just different management, how we operate at Franklin. I mean, Franklin, the culture at Franklin is a very tight-knit, environment. People work well together. We have very good people that have been there for a long time. So college students come in there and they pick up a lot from it. There's, we'll take, some of the people in our graphic design department, actually, we have a, extensive graphic design department, which we design things from start to finish. In that department, we have a few people I know offhand that have came in as interns and have developed into full-time employees at the company. And it's very successful ones that are growing within the company. And so there's a lot of experience. We try to guide them while they're with us. We try to guide them on many different levels. It's something that we're actually looking into taking more time into over the next couple of years of really developing employees like a farm system, like really bringing people in, training them, learning the sales end of it, learning the design end of it, the marketing end of it, and working with our team so they can, when they come out of college, possibly there can be a job there for them.
Great. So now, a student that comes there as an intern, what could they expect? What's a summer like at the Franklin Group? Do they go from department to department? Is there a lot of departments there?
Franklin's like a boot camp, you got, if you either got to sink or swim. But I think that learning, some people come in that they want to know accounting or they want to know marketing or they want to know design. I mean, there's different people that come in for different internships, but ideally a well-rounded employee today is the best. I mean, it's good for everybody. It's good for the employer, it's good for the employee. Someone that comes in and understands the scope of the business. They want to understand what's the landscape of the company. How do we operate? I always like that when someone comes in and they're not just focused on one particular part of the company, but they want to understand it. So sometimes you say to yourself, why do they need to know everything? But the truth is, I think someone who wants to see that impresses me because that means they really want to understand how we get to the finish line. So being involved in different parts of the company while they're there is a very important part of what we want to do.
Now, do you take some people under your wing as well? Do you bring them onto those executive meetings, go out to those appointments with the teams, get them excited about that kind of stuff as well?
We try to do that. We try to do that as much as possible. I mean, sometimes it's difficult with the travel schedules, but we try to do that. It's something that we feel is, if we want to give, I always look back at, the things that I did and have helped me through my career are people that have helped me while I've been around. Like, I wouldn't be where I am today if people that were above me all my life in the industries that that we've worked with have helped me and guided me through where we come. So I feel it's giving back. Like, I always like to give back in terms of, like, people have helped me, so I should be giving back. Yeah. So if I can take some of these students out there with me and give them some advice of how to operate. Sometimes they'll come back after and say, I can't believe you threw that out there to them. How do what were you thinking? Like, how do you talk like that? How are you just straight out like that? So I said, listen, my style is being very straight, putting everything on the table, being direct, and, like, seeing where the conversation goes. You always know in a meeting if something's going somewhere or it's not going somewhere. Within a minute or two, I mean, maybe a few more than that, but you know either this is something that I'm going to be able to accomplish or not. So I feel like that's sometimes when I've taken people to meetings with me, they said to me, Stephen, like, that's what we've learned from you, just being very direct. Like, you're just very direct in terms of your communication skills, and you're just straight on with people.
So now the Franklin Group's been around 25 years?
Yeah, close to 30 now.
30 years, wow. So 30 years. Tell me what happened when you first started almost 30 years ago to how big it's gotten 30 years later.
So when we first started off, just, out of college, a basic print company, just pounding the pavement.
Just you by yourself, or did you have a friend?
I had one or two other. No, I hired like one or two people at the time, just starting off, pounding the pavement, working, trying to figure my way out. Like, how am I going to make it out there? And as time went on, you have to, you learn from your mistakes. You really do. I was young, so I was able to learn. I was able to make mistakes. I still make a lot of mistakes, but I was able to make the mistakes and pick yourself up and just go forward. And that's something that I've learned. Like, how do you in sales, as an example, like, primarily my focus is in sales, of building the company, the vision of the company, where we're going, how we're going there. So I spend a lot of time in terms of big picture. Like, how do you, what is the big picture of the company? Where do you want to go? So I think that over time, I've learned from that. Over time, I've made mistakes, but I think that, you go with them and you try to focus in on what you do best and hire people within the company that are better than you, or as better than you in certain aspects of the company. Like, if I'm not a great day-to-day operator in terms of day-to-day being in the office and being on top of everything, and I'm great at sales, or I'm good at sales, or I'm good at other things, get the best people that you can get within the industries that you work with to be able to work together with you hand in hand. That there's no competition. We're in it together. We're working together and have a great team.
So now, how many departments are in the Franklin Group? Is there quite a number?
Yeah, I mean, it's always growing. I mean, as the business is growing, it's growing. We have a great accounting department. We have a great account management department, which handles the day-to-day activities of all the clients that we have. They need to be able to communicate with our departments of, okay, I have a need for this, I have a need for that. So they deal directly. Everyone has their own account management team. We have an extensive healthcare account management team. Wow. We have a separate sports one. We have a nonprofit one, and then we have a general one which just deals with businesses. And we have a business development department, a marketing department. There's a full design department that we deal with, and that's a branding design department. There's a lot of different departments that that are within the company, and social media. And I communicate with them regularly. I'm on top of the things that go on in the company. There's a lot that goes on. There's a lot.
And how many people are now in the company? You said it was only you and two others when you first started. Now,
I don't count.
What is that now?
I don't count.
Oh,
I don't count. I just, it's growing. Thank God it's growing. I don't count. I just, we plug holes when we need to plug holes. I try not to count, but it's good. It's all good. We have really good, dedicated employees.
So is the company based, the company's based out of Brooklyn?
So the company's based in Brooklyn. We have offices in different parts of the country now as well.
Wow.
But the corporate office is in Brooklyn. I happen to travel a lot for the company, but we're all over the place, really, all over the place. We have hubs all over, and we have sales departments all over the place.
So now, when you handle a lot of the sports and healthcare, is it just primarily the United States, or do you go outside the U.S. as well?
So actually, we're starting to grow outside the United States now as well. I mean, certain partnerships that we have, have different parts of the organization that have offices outside. So we're working with that as well. Just this morning on our call, on our marketing call, we were talking about doing something in London possibly, where one of our partners, the ALSD, which is a convention, which is an organization that spreads all over, just did a partnership with a company, SoccerX, that's outside the country. And part of what we were going to do is, should we be involved with this particular event as well? We're debating it. It's there's a lot out there, We want to be the best at what we're doing. So we just need to make sure we're set up for that.
Is that a big thing in the marketing promotions field, to partner up with other marketing promotions type companies?
I feel that what we've separated ourselves from is, in our industry, a lot of within the sports part of the industry, a lot of teams, on a local level, like when we were in Brooklyn, our first sports partnership was the Brooklyn Sports and Entertainment, which was the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Islanders. So we were a Brooklyn company, so we had reached out and we were trying to be their local partner. So a lot of teams on a local level will do that. Like there'll be a Brooklyn team will do that. Then there's some large companies out there that are on that scale, that doing stuff all over the country. Where we've separated ourselves is we're not that huge company, but we're not that small company that's only doing a local deal. We're doing stuff on many different, we're doing stuff in many different places, and that's where we've separated ourselves out. And we're still dedicated to service, being on top of what we're doing, not being that big company where they may not be able to give that service because they're so big.
Yeah.
It's just you're a number there. So we're trying to be that boutique, but be fit into that avenue as well.
So now the promotional side, I see a lot of things like the bobbleheads is a big thing. Do you see that that's one of the bigger items that is being promoted these days with sports teams?
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone wants to be different. Like I said, it's all about fan engagement. I mean, one of the teams that we deal with, the San Jose Sharks, they just won the J.D. Power Associates Award last year for fan engagement. I mean, and we were recognized with them. They recognized us, in fact, because we were the ones who did all the marketing for them. We did all the bobbleheads. We did a lot of the bobbleheads that you saw out there that had national acclaim was stuff that we did. So it's always, it's always a good avenue. And bobbleheads are big today. Like I was in an office, and you're showing up to a corporate office and there are bobbleheads in the lobby of like large bobbleheads. It's an interesting, it's definitely an interesting thing, and it's something that's growing in many different industries. It's not only sports. All of a sudden today we're getting inquiries outside the sports industry. Can we get a bobblehead for this? Can we get a bobblehead for that? So it's something that to watch, keep your eye out for.
So now the printing side of things, like the game day information, is that all going towards a digital type of a field eventually, or is it going to be, people still want to hold it and read it and look at it?
I think there's always cycles, I think there's a cycle. I mean, you look at Barnes & Noble's, numbers are up in Barnes & Noble's over the last quarter because people are people that were doing stuff electronically want to feel the book, want to feel what you're doing. So I always point back to that. There's always cycles. There's going to be teams that go away from game day programs, and then all of a sudden, 2 years later, they're back in it on a bigger level. So we're seeing that. We're definitely seeing a lot of that. But we're seeing, the turn of that. We're seeing that people are doing it. There's digital, and we're also getting into the digital world. We're creating the files. We're still designing a lot of it. Yeah. So even if we're not printing it, we're still designing it, and that's where we've developed in the business a lot. But there's tons of printing out there, tons of printing out there.
So now, do you come up with color schemes for the teams and things like that? I know the Brooklyn Nets, they went to black and white as a team color. Is that something that the marketing department gets involved with? Do you get involved with things like that, or you pretty much stick to the print and promotional stuff of their stuff?
So different with certain teams. I mean, certain teams and organizations have their own marketing department where they have their own designers. They'll come up with their own branding. But a lot of different organizations that we work with, we have a great design marketing department as well. So we'll design stuff. We'll come up with all the colors from the start to finish, and we'll work with them. But it's either way. Either we'll work with them or we'll work together. Work their teams, or we'll do our own. But either way, we're collaborating together.
Now, I see that you do a lot of the soccer as well. So is that an upcoming sport in the United States? Is soccer is one of the sports that's picking up a lot?
Yeah, they say soccer will become one of the biggest sports in the country. Currently we work with New York City Football, we work with the Red Bulls, we work with the Philadelphia Union, and we're really we're working together with their teams of soccer. But I think that there's a lot of needs in soccer. People want scarves, people want different. There's a lot of different giveaways that people utilize. But soccer is a big sport out there today.
Well, that brings up a question, clothing. Do you do the clothing as well, like shirts, hats, all of that promotional stuff as well?
Yeah, we have a great team within the company that deals with that. We're working with merchandise all the time, and we're coming up with different ideas of merchandise, the caps, the T-shirts, all that stuff we utilize and we print all day.
It's a busy environment that you have there.
Yeah, it's busy. Between all the different type of businesses that we print for and do promotional for, keeps us busy all year round because there's different cycles. The summer may be busy for certain teams, certain organizations may not. Certain ones are preparing schools or colleges, or just different teams, or off season. But off season, you're always preparing. People think the off season. What do you do during the off season? I mean, that's when we're getting everything ready. There's so much of that.
So that brings up a question about the internships then. When do you usually find college interns applying to the Franklin Group? Is it their junior year, their senior year? Are they trying to scramble to get something, just when they graduate, or do you usually start seeing these people sophomore, junior year of college?
Sophomore, junior year of college. I think it's always best to be able to prepare properly and to, I know with my own daughter, I have a daughter who graduated FIT last year. All through college, she always took internships, always did. And, a great story about it was, she worked for a few different companies while she interned during college, and going in out of college, she graduated last December. She was in PR marketing, and she worked at FIT, and she was working for a company, Kleinfeld's bridal company, the bridal company.
Yeah.
And she interned there. She interned for another company while she was there, while in college as well. And she's working for Kleinfeld's today. I mean, a year later, she's working for them. She's doing very well there. She's carved out her own marketing, PR department, working within their PR department there. But it shows how important it is to be able to, work with the companies while you're in college. And she had an opportunity waiting for her when she graduated college, which is great. I'm happy for her. Very proud of her.
So now, is it the network that you try to get once you get into that internship, to talk to as many people as you can, because you never know where those people end up?
Yeah, very important. I mean, I see it from within our company. I see it like from my daughter as well. I mean, she today is helping her friends out, or different people coming out of college, because people that she met while she was interning during her college days. So while she was interning during college, she met people that she still communicates with all the time. I mean, Fashion Week's coming up, and people are inviting her to different things, to see different things. She's trying to help out friends of hers in terms of that are coming through college, of helping them to try to get internships. So I think internships are very important. I think it's, if I didn't think it was important 4 years ago, before my daughter started with it, it's more important. I see how important it is today, and and we're trying to help out college students as much as we can.
So now, is it something where the students go directly to your website and fill out something on the website, or is it where they actually go to a college fair at college and the Franklin Group happens to be there?
I think it's always best to go onto our website, franklingroup.com. You can always fill out information on there. You can always reach out to our CMO, Daria Fox. You can always reach out to her directly and just send an email, We'll always communicate back. We'll always get back to you. And just, if there's any interest, something out there, why not? We're a growing company. There's always things going on out there. And, people coming out of college, it's always creative ideas, new ideas out there. We're always open to hear them.
Good. So we're coming to the end of our show. And usually I ask my guests, what advice do you want to give to the daughters, the sons, moms and dads that are watching? What advice do you want to give them on marketing and promotion and the Franklin Group?
The best advice I think to give any student out there, anyone coming out of college, is work hard, be transparent, and just be honest. Just be honest. That's all I say. You do something wrong, own up to it. Any boss that that's transparent, that cares about what they're doing, will always respect that. Don't try to get away the fast way. Don't come be a 9 to 5 employee and watch the clock and get out there the second you get out. It just doesn't work that way, especially in today's world with internet and emails all day. You need to work hard. Work hard, be appreciative of the people that are giving you the jobs, and you never know. Listen, the person sitting here could be sitting there in a few years down the line. I think just work hard, be transparent, be honest, and just be good. Be good to the people that you work with, and be a good employee, and also be creative. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be creative. Throw your ideas out there. And you're going to fail sometimes. You're going to make mistakes. People make mistakes. If you're in sales, people are going to say no to you half the time. Maybe if half the time you're okay, but just keep on coming back. Keep on coming back for more, and you'll be successful. Never give up. Never quit, and just keep on working hard.
Great. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Anthony, for having me.
Yeah. So you've been watching The Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva. Until next time.